Finally, SpaceX has revealed the newest version of its deep space vehicle called Starship 2.0. The Starship is expected to be the biggest and most ambitious project that SpaceX has taken and can enlarge the coast of human existence on other planets, most importantly, Mars. Since on April 20th the Starship test prototype exploded, SpaceX has been working on another different domination of the Starship that will succeed the previous one, and most interestingly, launch successfully into the lower Earth orbit and finally accomplish its first mission of taking a first trip round the globe. Today, we will look closer at the gigantic new prototype of the Starship and how it will be a game changer by completing the strange mission of touring round the Earth, and also how SpaceX plans to accomplish an overwhelming mission of landing NASA's astronauts on the moon. Stick around as you wouldn't want to miss the flashy new look of the latest Starship prototype. On the quest of making humans a multiplanetary species, SpaceX has since blasted many of its Starship rocket during its first static fire test, or first launch, but that doesn't seem to be a discouragement for the company to give up on the Mars mission. Also, NASA is at another corner, watching and waiting for the Starship project to be pronounced a success before it can prepare its astronauts to take an adventurous flight to the moon. As NASA already awarded the lunar lander mission to SpaceX has no other options than to make NASA's ambition of occupying Mars a dream come true. If all these missions are accomplished, the world will record a sci-fi dream of a Martian colony for the first time in the history of mankind. These are strong reasons why SpaceX is dying hard to develop a working and reusable Starship that will ferry people to other terrestrial bodies, and Musk has claimed that each Starship will contain up to 100 people that will be transported until we have a total number of 1 million citizens occupying Mars. When Musk unleashed his idea to the world, he laid out a basic plan of a large spacecraft and a huge rocket which will be developed to transport people and equipment into space over and over again. Using a vertical propulsion technique, the Super Heavy booster will launch the ship into Earth's orbit, then come back down to Earth in vertical propulsive landing. For some years now, several design changes has been remodeled on the Starship as SpaceX continues to look for better ways to perfect the functionality of the Starship project while prioritizing human safety at a cost-effective standard. SpaceX didn't do any insane magic on the new SpaceX Starship, as the ship also have the same facilities just like the previous prototype, but this time it's designed to look like a 21th century rocket. The new Starship has various amenities for crew members, such as a bay where astronauts will work out, as the zero gravity in space is liable to weaken our muscle and bones. Hence, astronauts exercise consistently almost every hour of the day to reduce the effect of zero gravity on their muscle. This is just the same way astronauts manage to live healthy on the ISS for many months without any severe death cases or health casualties. Sleeping quarters and a fully stocked kitchen area are also equipped in the new denomination of the Starship rocket, but this time it looks sleeker. After all, even astronauts millions of miles away from Earth need a delicious, well-balanced meal to get them through their day, while in space their options may be limited, and people way back home on Earth cannot rely on. Astronauts living in the ISS are served a delicious meal to keep them filled and healthy throughout their days on the ISS, but in the Starship their options for good food may be limited, since the Starship will spend 7 months or more journeying from Earth to Mars, so they will have to manage food within these 7 months, and even when they arrive on Mars, they won't have a choice than to manage any available food, since the Starship that will restock food, toiletries, and groceries will not arrive on Mars until another 7 months again. There is no new look to the Starship Raptor engine, and it doesn't also look too special from its original design. The company has done several static fire tests with increasing intensity in which one or more engines are ignited while the vehicle remains stationary on the launch month, and this even ends up destroying the launch pad and shooting several pieces of concrete in the air and around other areas of Boca Chica village. The final look of the new Starship interior remains a secret to the mainstream media and the public. Nevertheless, trust it will have a unique design that makes it stands out from every other deep space rocket ever built. Its stainless steel body provides thermal protection, making it ideal for deep space missions. And one thing spectacular about the Starship body that makes it mind-blowing is the outstanding innovation of using stainless steel that has a high melting point, which means at high heat intensity when the Starship is closer to the sun rays, stainless steel will not melt or expand, a feature that is scarce among other metals, coupled with the fact that it's cost-effective. This makes it the best choice for constructing the Starship that will travel beyond other space bodies. The Starship upper stage will still use the parachute system to slow itself as it splashed down in the coast, and that's a phenomenon that makes it reduces the descent impact of landing in the sea. Though the 6 gimbling sea-level engines will also provide landing thrust against the download movement when the ship lands on dry land, and that's another big plus that makes the Starship one of the safest spacecraft ever built. The landing system of the Starship is designed to be highly precise and autonomous, which reduces the need for human inspection and control, yet has a high guarantee for safety of crew members traveling on board. With its powerful engines, efficient fuel system, and revolutionary landing system, the Starship has the potential to make deep space missions more accessible and affordable, paving the way for the colonization of other planets. The future of space travel is bright, and the Starship is at the forefront of this new era. Space tourism has several advantages, both for the individual tourist and for society as a whole. For the tourists, it provides a once-in-a-lifetime adventure as well as the ability to explore our universe from an entirely new perspective. And for society, it provides a source of revenue and jobs, as well as aiding in the advancement of the field of space research, while the ability to travel through space is an intriguing experience. But space travel always comes with its challenges. For one reason, it's an adventure's mission that costs millions of dollars per launch. Again, there are still many technical and safety concerns that need to be addressed, such as the effects of long-term exposure to zero gravity on the human body. Despite the fact that the Starship exploded during its first orbital test flight, it may still see some future upgrades for smart system operations. Elon Musk has stated that nuclear thermal rockets would be an excellent case study. The CEO highlighted how the alternative to rocket fuel could unlock rapid travel times around the solar system, which is a keen area of interest as his company develops plans to create a new human-based planet on Mars. While the idea may conjure up images of Chernobyl, its proponents suggest that astronauts will be able to travel faster around the solar system. It is possible that astronauts will be exposed to less radiation. Deep space already exposes travelers to some levels of radiation, and installing a nuclear reactor on board a spaceship would generate its own radiation, which would be offset by the shortened time spent on the flight SpaceX is now designing. As part of a long-term attempt to show more effective ways to send astronauts to Mars in the future, NASA is also looking into nuclear propulsion options as the U.S. prepares to test a spaceship engine driven by nuclear fission coming 2027. Then, NASA will create a nuclear thermal propulsion engine in collaboration with the research and development arm of the U.S. military. A trip to Mars from Earth using the technology could take about 4 months instead of about 9 months with a conventional chemically powered engine. This would reduce the time astronauts would be exposed to deep space radiation and would also require fewer supplies such as food and other cargo during a trip to Mars. According to NASA officials, nuclear thermal propulsion is essential for sending humans beyond the moon and deeper into space. So, we are yet to see more bigger opportunities that lies in space adventure. How would you want SpaceX to remodel the Starship to your taste? If you think this is an easy task, check on how SpaceX developed their welding technique for Starship. Just click on the video on the screen.